Hi everyone, Bob Mehsikomer. You know, if you followed me over the nearly 40 years I've been in the industry, you know I fish big fish. Muskies, peacock bass in Brazil, northern pike in Saskatchewan, lake trout in Saskatchewan, broken world records in most of the species I've fished. That being said, I don't spend a lot of time fishing the fish that we're about to talk about. And it's not because I don't want to, it's not even because I don't have time. It's because my demands on my life take me into other areas. But what if you've got kids in the house, or what if you like to just lay back and have a little bit of fun? What's a good fish to fish? It's crappie, folks. It's crappie. There are tons of them out there. They're a prolific species. There's a lot of them to be caught. We've got a gentleman on with us right now that's going to tell you a little bit about what they're doing, because they've come up with something new. It's Crappie Candy. So let's welcome aboard if we could. How you doing, Gary?
Good, Bob. Thank you for having me on your program.
It's our pleasure, young man. Gary is he's with Crappie Candy Bait Company. Now, this is unique. Now, we're going to walk through some of the things that they've got, and I'm going to let Gary do most of the talking because it's his property, it's his product line. Like I said, I don't spend as much time fishing this species as I should. It's a very, very interesting fish to fish. They're not as easy to catch as you think. There are times of the year that they are. But what about the times they're not? What do you do then? We're going to leave that up to this expert to tell us how to go about doing it. Gary, walk us through some of what not only you're using, what you're making, but how do you use it?
Well, again, thank you, Bob. And I brought Crappie Candy up to this state so we could bring into the ice fishing folks. We wanted to bring our lure from down south. We're from Pensacola, Florida. We produced this lure, Crappie Candy, about 5 years ago. Zeta Bait Company had it as the judge about 30 years ago. We were able to buy the commercial mold from them and develop a jig head that fits the lure body a little better than the normal jig of the judge 30 years ago.
So your jig heads are unique in what kind of fashion?
Absolutely. I appreciate you asking. One of the things that makes my jig head unique is we have a 2X wire and a size 6 gap on a size 10 hook. I brought 3 examples of our hooks today, and one of the main things that I need to stress the most is Crappie Candy absolutely powder coats all their jig heads. I truly believe in powder coating because powder coating lasts the longest. Our proprietary jigs come in 1/64 and a 1/32, and believe it or not, the 1/32 cast pretty well because our lure is only about 1 inch long. If you drop it through the ice, or if you're just on some drop shot, a little bit of split shot, or a corky is what we call it down south, or a weighted cork, will get you wherever you need on water.
Crappie fishing, I mean, there's huge tournaments with crappie fishing nowadays. In fact, there's some pretty big money in crappie tournaments, and down in your neck of the woods you probably see that. So I know you're bringing it up here for the ice fishing, and that's what you're talking about, but when our water goes out, when our ice goes out, we've got a pretty good crappie fishery up here too. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can bang on them pretty good. Folks, for you who don't know, the crappie generally are the last of the panfish family to spawn. A lot of people at Ice Out go out to try to catch these fish, and they don't realize that their spawning habits put them closer to early June, late May up here for spawning. And if that happens, you can boatload the things, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. What is the crappie fishing in Pensacola like?
Well, we have Lake Twalquin, which is right outside of Tallahassee. And of course, we have world-renowned fishing in Georgia, Alabama, and especially Louisiana, all the way to Texas. You talked about the big tournaments. Crappie Candy is more focused on helping the kids. The normal tournament goer is a little big for us right now. We want to be able to put Crappie Candy in every kid's hand across America, but right now we're working mainly on charity. I'm happy to say, Bob, that we put 30,000 packages in to charity in the last 5 years.
All right, let's talk a little bit about that charity, because you and I have met only a few minutes ago, okay? So I don't have a big background on what you do. Charity's a huge thing in our industry today. Expand upon the charity side of it.
Absolutely. Well, After I retired from the Navy in 2013, I knew I wanted to be the public sector and in any type of charity that I could. We developed this business around charity. Everybody that mentored me said it was a terrible business model to start giving this stuff away. Reels from Easter Seals down in Alabama got a hold of me. We were very, very happy to start sponsoring them. Mission Fishing is another charity down south that we sponsored, and we had tremendous feedback from everybody that used our fishing lures. And then just recently, Fishing for Autism got a hold of us a couple months ago, and we were very, very happy to meet them at this site. We didn't even know they were going to be here. We were very, very happy, and we're going to send them home with a truckload of stuff, and it saves me with the shipping.
We have also run across the aisle and talked to the Fishing for Autism people, and they are very genuine in their efforts. They have a lot going on. They take product like you're talking about that come into them, and they turn those products into benefit for the autism group, and that's huge. That's really huge. Your soft plastics are unique in the sense that, gosh almighty, they're fish shaped.
Absolutely. They're micro swim baits shaped after bullhead minnows, and they're only about an inch long. It talks a lot about it on my website about how fish aren't intimidated by this fishing lure, and especially in the spring during the spawn, we catch a lot of fish on these micro swim baits. They come in a variety of colors, and of course, just for the kids, our colors are named after candy. We have bubblegum, black licorice, rock candy. One of our favorites is Crappie Taffy, which is the lime green and the plum head, and the list goes on and on.
Well, I'll be honest with you. We take our daughters out. We take them out and go sunfish fishing. We don't spend a lot of time with the kids early in the season fishing other fish, but crappie are one of those things that everybody can catch. Everybody can have fun with them. And the fact that you're getting these lures in the hands of people who don't have access to them any other way, so they can learn how to fish, they can enjoy the sport, grow into become better fishermen, grow into not only that, but maybe they'll grow into being a lure manufacturer, building a product and give it just like you've done. So
absolutely.
You're blazing the trail, if you will, for a mindset that's being put in these young anglers. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely. One of the things I have to emphasize is I grew up in Western Maryland, and we grew up crappie fishing when my uncle and I used to fill up the freezer, and I have a passion for crappie fishing. But one thing I definitely have to emphasize is we catch more largemouth bass and panfish of all types of sorts. We have yellow perch, white perch. Even in Annapolis, Maryland, of all places, they ordered over 1,000 packages for white perch on the Chesapeake Bay.
Wow. Down
in Pensacola, I've caught 48-inch redfish on my jig, and you wouldn't believe a 48-inch redfish would take a 1-inch minnow on a size 10 hook, but we did it. We've caught flounder and snook, and if you visit my website, Bob, the first fish you'll see on my website is a 36-inch snook that took a chartreuse crappie candy.
Good grief. Okay, now, I have these things sitting in front of me, and I'm looking at these tiniest of tiny hooks, and you're able to hang on to those fish, huh?
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Our proprietary jig is a 1/32 on a size 10 hook. But the thing about the hook is it's a size 6 gap on 2X wire.
Size 6 gap on a 2X wire, so 2 times strength of wire, size 6 gap on that small jig.
Absolutely.
That's pretty interesting. That's pretty phenomenal. I'm pretty impressed with what you're doing, and the fact that you guys are in the donation side of it is even more intriguing to me. Hey, Greg, I want to say thanks for coming on. I hope that going down the line you're successful in your endeavors. You're definitely got your mind in the right place, and well, to some degree your pocket in the same place. So with that being said, what would you like to say to our audience on the way out of here right now in terms of your product line?
Well, again, we're focused on fishermen and mainly kids. We would like to put a bag of crappie candy in every Christmas stocking and a couple bags of crappie candy in every Easter basket every spring. We've taken kids to the pond, and it's the first time fishing for them, and I can guarantee they catch fish. It's an easy, bait for everybody, young and old. One more story. I took my uncle from
go for
Cumberland, Maryland to Paw Paw, West Virginia on a kayak trip, and he caught over 100 fish on one jig and 4 lure bodies.
Oh, goodness.
So if you buy your kids a bag of crappie candy, I'm sure they're going to have a good time with them. It's fun. And by all means, please, I would love to thank Jim Grant for putting this together, Bob.
Oh, Jim Grant is an awesome guy. He is a promoter among promoters. How can people get a hold of you for distribution or maybe even to support you guys? I'm not sure. How do they do it? How do they get a hold of you?
Sure. We don't have any private sales at this time, Bob. By the spring, we should have a website that does private sales. We are a wholesaler. We're trying to put crappie candy in bait shops right now at bulk at the cheapest price we can. We're in 7 stores right now, and I'm happy to say that Walmart has picked us up. We just have to work out the logistics and paperwork, and we should be in a test run with Walmart in 100 stores in the Midwest.
Well, that's pretty phenomenal. So would you like to give up a phone number or anything that people can reach out to you? Or
Absolutely.
All right, let's go ahead and do that.
I'm happy to give you my personal phone number is 850-287-0473. It's a Pensacola number, and you can reach me anytime of the day you do get any information. And please visit our website. It's ccbaitco.com, and that'll give you information and possibility of emailing me at the bottom of the page. Flip to the second page of that website to see some of our pictures.
ccbaitco.com. I've got it right. Greg, again, thanks for coming on the show. I wish you guys the best. I'm pretty interested in what you're doing, and you're doing with Walmart. Man, you're playing with the biggest of big hitters. That being said, hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Maybe we'll see you further along down the line on another show. If you do, please stop up and say hi to us, and we'll get you back on and get a catch-up on how things are doing for you guys over at Crappie Candy. How's that sound?
Thank you so much, sir.
Oh, man, it's been our pleasure. No doubt about it.